Hi, my name's Barrie Crampton. Today I'm going to tell you what is hopefully the end of the saga with my Citroen Ami. If you've watched the channel, you'll know that I was in the process of rejecting the car, and that I didn't want to reject the car, to be fair. Absolutely ideal for me for going to work. It's perfect in every way. Once I get the heater installed, that will overcome the, or hopefully it will overcome the steaming up issues and keep me warm. It's no problem in summer here really. I know Tim and Mr. Boo have problems in the south of France with it being like an oven, but to be fair, the only time I have been too hot was when I got stuck in a traffic jam coming home from work, and it was absolutely red hot, and there was no, you know, these two windows, they create a real nice draft. And I'll do something about the heat, you know, next year. So this car is the perfect car for me for getting backwards and forwards to work. And when I got it, I was really looking forward to it. The experience was marred really by lack of communication. Should have been here on December the 7th, and it didn't get here till end of March. And I had a whole host of videos planned for it, but that's by the by. So I was already a bit negged out with the situation, and then noticed these white marks on the side. Lance noticed a crack in the door, and we thought it was, or I thought it was, jumped to conclusions. Thought there was something wrong with the chassis, the body was flexing and creating the white marks that you know when you bend plastic too far, no matter what colour it is, it goes white. And that's the situation with the doors. Then through total fluke really, a chap had seen this car arrive at Just Citroen, and he'd taken a photograph of it as it came off the transporter. And when I looked closely at it, and when I looked closely at the photographs I took before I actually picked it up, as soon as I knew it had arrived, and I went, I could see these white marks on it already. So it became obvious then that it was damaged in transit. And I got in touch with the Ami team. I'd already been in touch with them. I'd got fed up not getting any communication, and I rejected it because in my mind I have 30 days. Citroen tell me it's 14 days because it's a quadricycle, not a car. I don't know about that, so jury's out. However, in fairness to Citroen, there's a couple of things. Poor communication. I didn't get a couple of emails that they said they sent, and I've gone back through my timeline, my junk folder, but I'd already had it inspected at Just Citroen, and they'd taken photographs, and that was about 3 weeks after I'd got it when I noticed the stuff. And the reason it took me so long was Just Citroen couldn't clean it at the time because they were dead busy. I was like a kid waiting for Christmas. I wanted it, so I said, I'll get our valeter to clean it. And our valeter was so busy, we were busy. They'd have probably cleaned it before we'd done it. But anyway, I wanted it ceramic coating and so on. So, and as soon as Lance cleaned it, he noticed it. As I've said in previous videos, I'm so mad with myself because that's my job. You know, I check cars over every day when I'm valuing them. And to be fair, I am pretty good. When we were at Mercedes, even though I was only a salesman when I started, they used to come and get me to check the cars that came off the transporter. And so it was remiss of me to start off with that I didn't notice it. And that was probably, you know, if I'd noticed it when I picked it up, it wouldn't have got this far. However, back to the emails I missed, they'd asked me to apparently take it to be inspected. I asked them what. You know, they wanted further information. I said, look, I've sent you videos and so on. But in between them asking me to send further information and me saying, look, I've had enough of this, just take it back. Apparently, from somewhere, somebody had got confused that the car had gone into the garage to be inspected and there was no damage. So obviously Citroen then thought I was trying to pull the wool over their eyes and you know, send the car back when there was nothing wrong with it. And I can understand that. You know, people do it. I've said in previous videos, the dirty tricks that customers play on us. And obviously Citroen sell a heck of a lot more cars than we do, and you know, in a year probably than, well, yeah, they would do. So I can understand that. Anyway, I got completely fed up, decided to go nuclear and threatened to sue them. At which point a lady from Citroen got involved. I won't mention her name. All I can say is she was very, very nice. Very nice. And if the situation about the 14 days is correct, I mean, I think that's a cooling off period. In my own mind and my own experience of the motor trade, I think that's a cooling off period for stuff like finance agreements and stuff you've ordered over the internet. But if there's a major fault on it, in my mind, you've got 30 days. Anyway, she explained to me, only got 14 days, but she wasn't worried about that. She didn't want an unhappy customer making videos. She didn't say that, but she didn't want an unhappy customer out there because, you know, driving around an Ami, because the Ami, and I will say this, the Ami is a fun car. It really is a fun car. Everywhere you go, people come up to you and they start talking to you and asking you about the car. Kids smile, cool car, mister. You know, I mean, other people have said they get bad comments and people shouting about mobility scooters and stuff. Well, to be honest, I think mobility scooters are a fantastic idea. They change people's lives. So if it was a mobility scooter, it would be a good thing. That wouldn't annoy me at all. You know, it's just one of those things. But it's a happy car. Everywhere you go, people start conversations with you, and it's great for publicity. My friend has a bar in Preston, Nico's, and we did a shot outside his bar, you know, as a pizza takeaway. And even though I say so myself, I think this shot looks brilliant, and it's, you know, it's created a lot of interest. And by the way, Nico's bar in Preston, the beers are absolutely fantastic. The staff are great, Nico's great, good crowd going there, make sure you go. So, back to the car. So, it's a happy car. Now, I'm pretty sure that this lady will have watched my videos and she will have known full well that I didn't want to get rid of this car. I offered them a deal, either take it back or give me some money back. I don't want a new body. It's the whole idea of this is to be eco-friendly, reduce my carbon footprint. I'm not a green nutter or anything, but I just want to do a little bit. I've been driving around a Range Rover for ages, and there's no need, in all honesty, for me there's no need. A one-seater, 1 litre Range Rover, I like the shape of them, I love the way they drive. They're brilliant. Fantastic car, best car on the road, best of British, best 4x4x4, fantastic. But I don't need it. I'm just going to work. 4 miles, this is my trip to work every day. I'm in traffic. My average speed is 15 miles an hour going to work and 15 miles an hour going home, whether I'm in a Jaguar, a Lamborghini or a Citroen Ami. So this is perfect for me. So I don't want to get rid of it. Now, she listened to what I had to say. I explained about the emails and so on and said, look, I never got that email. I've replied to you and the whole thread of the emails are there. So if you don't believe me, you go through my emails and see. And she said to her credit, she said, I do believe you. I explained I'm not a liar. And my friend says, who's into psychology, said, you should never say you're not a liar. You should phrase it differently, because when people say that, it's like I used to work with somebody who always used to say, can I be honest with you? And as soon as he said that, you knew the next thing out of their mouth was going to be a lie. But it's not with me. So I wasn't trying to rip them off. I love the car. It's got a couple of marks on it now. Now I've satisfied myself. I've checked underneath. I've checked all around it. I've satisfied the crack hasn't got any bigger. I've satisfied myself that there is nothing structurally wrong with the car, and it's safe to drive. There's no uneven wear on the tyres. I've been underneath. The mechanics, the MOT testers have checked it, and I'm satisfied it's safe to drive. So it's got cosmetic damage. Look at me, crikey. If there is an example of something with cosmetic damage, it's me. I've got scars and breaks everywhere, but it's made me what I am. I like the Citroen. I don't want to change the door, and I don't want to change the body. I just want to keep it as it is. It's not leaking. Other people have said cars leak. Mine doesn't really leak. The worst thing it does, and I will tell you, I put Rain-X on the roof, on the panoramic roof. Now when I get in, I'm 13 and a bit stone. When I get in, my left leg is out that door as I get on the seat. The car's totally flat, so I get in, the rain is collected on the roof, but all ready to run off or blow off with the Rain-X. And I sit in, the car tilts a little bit, and all the rain drops on my left leg. So you could do with rain channels, Citroen. I may even make some. You know, it's a great car. It's a great base to start off with, to do all sorts of things. So, right, so I don't want a new door and a new body and to be left with Crockett's chassis, front panel, back panel and driver's door. It just won't, it won't be the same, and it wouldn't be Crockett. I'll give you another tip. Never name your car, because once you name your car, that's it. It then becomes part of the family. And I really don't get attached to things, and I have to say I'm attached to this. I didn't want to get rid of it. The last video, when I was editing it, and I was saying about sending it back, I actually sounded like my voice was cracking, like I was just about to start crying. And I was genuinely upset that the thought that I wouldn't have this little, I don't know, it's just, there's just something really fun about it. And I like driving it. As I say, I like people waving at me and so on, and it's just great. So I didn't want that. I didn't want to send it back, really, but I thought that Citroen they were ignoring me, when it turns out they just thought I was a nutter that was trying it on with this lack of communication. I talked to this lady, as I say, she listened, and at the end she listened to what I had to say and said, look, you know, you're outside the 14 days, you're unhappy, we've treated you badly, miscommunication, we're addressing that fault, that issue, we know, hold my hand up, we know we've done wrong, we are addressing it, so I will take your car back, you know, we'll give you all your money back, but it's up to you. Do you want to keep it, or do you want to send it back? And I said, well, either way, I'm not bothered. Now this lady must play cards, and she knew I was bothered, or I think she knew I was bothered. So she said, oh, okay, if you want to keep it, I don't want a customer going round that's unhappy with the car. That's not what the Citroen Ami is about. So if you're in the slightest bit unhappy, or if you're gonna, in future, you're gonna look back at the situation and think, oh well, you know, I should have sent it back. She says, let's take it back. But if you want to go forward and you want to enjoy the car as it's meant to be, you're out there being an ambassador for Citroen, then let's sort it out. We'll give you some money back, and you know, I'll send you my personal email, my telephone number. If you have any problems in future, just get in touch with me. That's Grosvenor Garage. Just get in touch. And sure enough, she did. But she almost made it like I was really good. This isn't a criticism, it's not a complaint. She was backing up that I really, really wanted to keep it, that I was 100% sure I wanted to keep it. Otherwise, they would just give me my money back. And I am 100% sure I want to keep it. I've got so much planned for it. It's just a shame I'm now months and months behind, and other people have done some of the content that I wanted. And to be fair, when I got the car and I actually said what I was going to do, and then I come across this problem, other people, I know other people have you know, moved forward and used my ideas, but that's it, that's life. So I've still got Crockett. It's damaged. If I sell it in future, all these videos are on the internet, which is what I try to explain to the lady from Citroen. These videos are on the internet. I'm a motor trader. If I know of any faults or issues with the vehicle, I have to disclose it. Well, I've documented it. I can't do any more. I can't see me selling it for any reason, because it's cheap enough. It can never depreciate, really. You know, some of these EVs, they've depreciated by more than this car cost me in 3 and 4 months, and they're not actually that much more expensive. So I really don't care. The car's brilliant. I want to keep it. So I will be moving forward. I will be making more videos. I have got my Citroen Ami. Please subscribe to my Citroen Ami channel. One of the things the lady said to me is, it's become clear your expectations of the Citroen Ami are not unrealistic. I don't want it to do any more than 28 mile an hour. It's perfect. I don't need it to go any more than 45 miles. Absolutely perfect. It's great. I can park it anywhere. I can charge it up in 3.5 hours from empty, that is. But I only do 8 mile. There and back. Well, sorry, I do 8 mile, and then I do a Starbucks trip at lunchtime and a subway trip at lunchtime. So I'll probably do 10 mile a day in the car, and it's absolutely perfect for that. Loads and loads of people have stopped me and asked me about it, and I give it a glowing review. I want carpets in it, I want leather seats. At some stage I may put a headlining in it. I want to put proper speakers rather than the sound bar. And then I've got my Apple CarPlay. Absolutely perfect. I've got sat-nav. Occasionally I have to go places where, even within the range of the Citroen, where I don't know, streets I don't know. And that's perfect, just sticks on. You don't need any complicated wiring. So hopefully, when I announced or put a message out on my forum, my Ami Vice forum, on my YouTube channel, that it was resolved with Citroen, the overwhelming opinion that came back was fantastic, that's great, really happy for you, but now do some happy content. So hopefully this is happy content. I am happy. I'm happy with Citroen. One other thing I must mention, another thing that came across is other people who had been having difficulties with communication are now dealing with a young lady called Nicola, and her name has come across each time, Nicola in the Ami team. So, you know, thumbs up to Nicola, credit where credit's due. She's doing the job properly and she's making people feel happy that they're being listened to. That's it, that's the video. Keeping the car and moving forward, onwards and upwards. And thank you to the lady from Citroen. As yet, they haven't paid me, but I'm sure they will do. So thanks again, see you in the next video. Bye bye.